Good day everyone, welcome to episode 6 of the EVE Online Ironman series. As discussed in the previous episode, in this episode we're going to be doing a bit of exploration. I've already grabbed the Imicus, which I introduced as well, but the fit is mostly finished for what it's going to be for right now. I wanted to get a pinpointing array in the mid slot, however that needs more fight, which I don't have yet, so I couldn't make that. Low slots I will likely end up filling with just mobility, so we can become a bit faster. In the rig slots we have 2 small gravity capacitor upgrade ones, which increase the strength of our probes by 10% each. High slot is a core probe launcher one with 8 core scanner probes. Mid slots are 1 5mn compact micro warp drive, a relic analyzer and a data analyzer, which right now our strength at virus coherence is 70, the strength at 25. Coherence basically means the hit points that we start up with, and the strength is the amount of damage we do with each hit that we do. And this is for the data analyzer, which is the same since the skills are pretty much the same level right now. There are a couple of skills you have to pay attention to, especially when you do exploration. First one we're gonna take a look at is the archaeology skill, which gives you more coherence for each level, basically more hit points. Hacking is for the data sites, the archaeology is for the relic sites, and does it for the data analyzer. Then we have astrometrics is an important one, which is basically making your probes stronger and makes it easy to scan down. The astrometric acquisition reduces just the time for each time you scan, and the astrometric rangefinding skill just a flat out increase of strength of your probes. Survey is not related to this one. So yeah, let's go look for a system where we can do a bit of scanning. The easiest way how I normally do it is by opening the agency tab, going to exploration, cosmic signatures, and then basically we just go any high sec system because we're not going to low sec just yet. Right now Velour has 2 of them, so we're going to be undocking and jumping to Velour, and we're going to start scanning down. We'll see you all right there. Okay, we arrived in system, and literally as I arrived in the system a new signature actually spawned. So what we're going to do is just going to click somewhere in space, press F1 to launch our probes. Now we press F9 to open basically the interface for probes. Alt, we can make the size bigger of the probes, like basically the scan range. And Control, we can get them closer to each other or further away. Shift, we can move them individually. So basically what I normally do is we'll just grab one. Right now we don't have anything. Just move this around to the side a bit. This right here, so we can see them next to each other. We've just launched the probes, so now I press B to start scanning, which will start the scan. They first get in position, now it's scanning. So we got one at 5.7%. So now we actually got the little ball already, so that's good. So now we just move it over to them. I hold Alt, make it one size smaller, move it basically you want to keep it in the center of your cluster. So we just did that, then we just scan it down, and we will know at 25% we get a rough estimate as to what it is, like combat site, relic, gas, etc. So this is first our goal that we want. Right now we're only really looking for relic and data sites. Combat sites is normally also one you want to be looking out for. Wormholes you could use to get into nullsec or in wormhole space where you can also find sites. But right now we're going to be staying in high sec, so we're just keeping it to the relic and data sites. And this first one I'm just going to show you the entire process. After this we're going to do a couple of sites where it's just sped up so you guys can see it. Okay, so the first one is a wormhole. We don't know what kind of class. Right now it doesn't matter since we don't really want to do the wormholes. So I'm going to ignore this one. And we're just going to go back up a size. Scan, basically get it all in the circle of the other two. So we get a signal again. 9.1. So yeah, it's a bit of a mini game. You have to make sure you get everything just as close as you can. And the higher your skills, the better your probes are, the ship as well, the faster you can get this sorted. So this is actually a combat site. However, I am gonna scan it down because I want to see what it is. Because it could be a combat site we want to run, because even the high-sec combat sites can be quite profitable, so I do recommend scanning them down. So Serpentis Live Cargo. I've not really heard of that one before, so what I generally then do is I'll put up a bit on the screen right now of the Serpentis Live Cargo. Let's see. Okay, so it's a 2 out of 10 where we can go max size is tier 3 destroyers. And there is actually an overseas spawn. Guaranteed. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna save this. We're gonna swap over to our Algos actually, and we're gonna run that. So I'm gonna go and reship, and I'll see you all in a moment. Okay, we've reshipped into the Algos and we're currently in warp to the combat site itself. Just want to explain something really quick about this. Basically, these combat sites can be scanned down by any other player, so we're gonna be doing a bit of a speed run through it. Looks like the first room is mainly filled with frigates and some Serpentis sentry guns. And then the second room is going to be a bit more difficult because it has 3 stasis towers. So let's have a look. Okay. I think the first site will not be the most difficult since these frigates, I mean, they're a massive number, but we can kill them really fast. Sentry turrets might be a bit more of a pain. And we mainly have to pay attention to the hit points of our drones, since they will target those. But yeah, basically from exploration is, yeah, you mainly do combat sites that you can scan down, hacking, data, yeah, and wormholes, and you can even find gas sites if you're lucky, which we're going to be needing in the future. But for the time being, we're mainly just looking for the combat sites and the data and relic sites. Okay, and they are, as expected, shooting at one of our drones. We just have to keep an eye out. Okay. So these drones are not really too difficult, which is good. But I will have to recall that one drone in just a moment. Yeah, I'm gonna recall you. I'm gonna engage the rest. Now we can launch it back. Because basically what you can force by doing this is make them lose lock if you pull it back into your ship. The drones, I mean. And then generally they switch back over to your ship instead. Gotta pay attention, because even though they're not really hitting except for the sentries, I do still want to keep an eye out. Let's realign to a different place. Get onto the sentry guns now, which with our improving skills is making it a lot easier to destroy. Right now every hobgoblin one is almost doing 19 DPS per second, so it's getting a lot easier to run these sites. And the faster we kill enemies, the less stress we're going to put on our own tank, and the easier it is as a journey for us. Okay. So it looks like they are actually switching over to my drones again. And it looks like even the sentry turrets switched this time. So generally, most people that scan down combat sites and try to run them, there is a bit of an honor system. Whoever scans it down first and is in the site gets it. However, there are quite a few people that also don't follow the rule. I myself follow it, mainly because honor, I would say, is a big thing. And yeah, basically I treat others as to how I want myself to get treated. So if someone's already in this combat site, I would have left, but we are the first one here. And I just want to get through it as soon as possible, because there are in total 4 rooms actually that we have to get through. Okay, what we're gonna do is bookmark this. 1, 2 days. And we're gonna go straight to the next room. We'll get to salvaging and looting later, because as I mentioned, other people can also scan this combat site down and steal it. So we got a good amount of range actually, which is good. Gonna mainly go for these stasis towers first. Because speed is very important for us all. Stasis tower. And another stasis tower. There should be 4, I thought. Oh no, 3. I stand corrected. So as you can see, they are actually slowing down this Hobgoblin 1. And now I'm also getting slowed. So we are gonna go and align out. Mainly so we can just warp out as soon as possible, at least also on the website, the EVE University website that I've showed earlier. It does not state that there's going to be warp disruption on here, but it's always smart to just align out, so in case of emergency you can just click warp and get out as soon as possible. That's 2. So 1 more. That's stasis towers down, we can finally switch over to the frigates. And with our speed we should be able to outrun them, so now I'm just gonna go try and keep range while manually controlling the ship. And this room will be the same. We're just gonna bookmark the loot and just go into the next room once we have finished. So while we mop up these last ones, I also want to just give a bit of a insight for the next episode, like basically episode 7. That one's actually going to be the weekly highlight, right? Look back, take a look at what we've earned last week, and yeah, just show a bit of progress, basically what we've done. But after that, I have been looking into the Epic Arc missions, basically. So let me no, it's in the opportunities tab actually. So let me just close this. Where are we? Epic Arcs. Basically, I'm looking into doing these. Likely, we're gonna start with this one here in Manifest. I've never really done them myself, so it's going to be a new experience for me as well. And from what I've been hearing from others is they are pretty good-isk income, and they also give some other nice rewards. So that's going to be a thing for the next episode after the weekly roundup. And with a bit of luck for that one, we will also have our first cruiser, because Sunday's episode we're going to be looking at the results of the poll right now the poll's looking at 5 votes saying yes, 0 votes saying no for the blueprint copies. So it's looking like right now that we're going to be allowed to buy copies, which is going to keep the progress going pretty fast. So if we get the yes, then I'll buy a blueprint copy, and then I'll start building the Vexor. We already have the minerals actually to build the Vexor. It's only the blueprint that we don't have just yet. Okay, I'm gonna have to keep an eye out because nothing has locked us yet, which we can see by the orange glow is that they have us locked but they are not engaged. Red means they have us locked and are actively shooting at us. And this can be shooting, repairing, dampening, warp disrupting, etc. Anything that could be considered hostile or does something to your ship. Okay. That's interesting. Just got more standings. Probably from the missions that I was doing before the video. Okay, we're up to the cruisers almost. But yeah, I've been really liking the progress so far. We're steadily progressing. We're nearing the 82.5 million ISK. And I think before Sunday we can hit 100 million liquid ISK. We do also still have the Serpentis Webifier, because right now I'm not sure if I want to keep it and use it later on for PvP or PvE. So right now it's just laying in the station, and I'll see what I'll do with it in the near future. I really hate these sensor dampening because they lower basically the lock range that you have. And with one of the missions that I did have some assistance with, I couldn't even lock out to 8 kilometers anymore. So I had to be literally on top of the enemy to be able to lock them, which meant basically I was getting myself killed. Okay. 2 more frigates, 3 more cruisers, and then that is room 3 done. And then we're already in the 4th room, in which they actually recommend that you just take out the Shadow Serpentis Warden and just get out. Which I think I'm actually gonna do as well. It's a frigate size enemy, and we wanna of course do the main course of the video, which is exploration. And the Corelli B-type modules and Shadow Serpentis modules that can drop are in that Shadow Serpentis Warden, so there's no real reason other than bounties and loot to kill the other ships in that wave. Okay, 2 more. But yeah, basically, to give a bit more, actually, maybe on the combat sites that you scan down. So there are classifications. You have unrated complexes, 1 out of 10s up to 10 out of 10s. And basically 10 out of 10s are only happening in nullsec. You get class 1 to 5 in highsec. I don't know out of my head which ones can be found in lowsec, and I know 7 through 10s are generally found in nullsec. So probably 5, 6, 7 can be found in lowsec. And of course 1 to 10 and unrated can also be found in lowsec, but yeah. In highsec you can find up to tier 5. Okay, we gotta approach. Also paying attention that we were actually leaving the acceleration gate. That is room 3. So I'm just gonna speed this a little bit up and get us into the last room. So yeah, just trying to save some time. Okay, and we're getting ready for warp. Once we get in the room, we're gonna look for the Shadow Serpentis Warden, which is an overseer frigate. Let's see, there it is. Okay, we're gonna lock it up. To get in range, which is 35 kilometers, as you can see here. And as mentioned, we're gonna just kill the Shadow Serpentis Warden, warp off, wait a moment, warp back in, and have a look at the loot. Okay, drones are engaged. Go. And that's the wreck. So let's just go here, safe location. And I didn't bookmark the other room. Oh well. It is what it is then. Okay. Gonna warp on out. Wait a moment for it to despawn. And then we'll get to the loot. So I'm just gonna give it a moment. And then warp back to the site. And we'll check what the loot is. See you all in just a moment. Okay. And we're back at the wreck. So let's have a look and see what we get. Whoa, 41.7 million. A Corelli B-type small remote armor wrap, a Corelli B-type thermal coating, and 2 meta modules, and a 6-tier personal overseer effect. Now that is why you run these combat sites. And now we just go and salvage the wreck. Basically see if we can get some Tech 2 scrap, but sadly no, we get metal scrap. So this is pretty much, it was about 20 minutes of work, and we haven't even checked the other wrecks yet. So that's why you do the combat sites. So I'm gonna go finish up looting the rest, and then we're gonna give straight back into scanning down, and once we find ourselves a relic or data site, I'm gonna slow it back down so you all can see the process of that. Enjoy! Okay, and we're gonna be warping over to a local Serpentis Virus test site. It actually had just spawned in on our home system. So, chances are there's nobody here just yet, so let's go straight up to it. So this is a data site for which we are gonna be using our Data Analyzer 1. So we're just gonna have to get close. Within 5,000 meters. Stay within the 5,000 meters. Start the mini mission, which is kind of like you have to find the core. And there's gonna be traps or basically hostiles that are trying to keep you from getting it. There are these bonuses you can get, like repairs. There's the core actually. And here's the first bit of loot. A needlejack filament, some current amplifiers, and a symmetry decryptor. Which the symmetry decryptor is actually used for blueprint copies. Always a nice find. And this is actually also a really nice find in case I want to do PvP later on in nullsec. So now we can unlock the first one, open the second one. Basically look for the core again. Here we go. And that's actually the first one already done. So that's actually one we're gonna need, so use that. And that was already our first data site. So let's go on to the next one. Okay, we're warping up to the next site. So we have actually found another combat site, a haunted yard. It's an unrated complex, not a guarantee for a faction spawn. I will do that, but I will do it off recording, and unless I do find something good, I will show you guys the result. Otherwise, it's just gonna be this. There are two more signatures we have to scan down in a moment. The other one was a wormhole, which we have no interest in. So, here we go. Oh yeah, and one thing I actually forgot to explain. Basically, the number you see is the estimated range for a block of interest, like either like these unknowns or the actual core itself, or a upgrade, like a little buff, like the repairs, for example. So that's that one. Jury Reckon is a skill I already have, so not needed. Okay. Let's see. Okay. That's the next one already done. So that's basically how you just do these. And we're gonna go back to scanning the other ones. Enjoy. So, as I was showing, we found a desolate site. I did look it up, and it has a guaranteed faction spawn, so I figured, why not just reship and do that one as the final one for this episode. So, I'm gonna just go and speed run through it, and see you guys after. And there is the sentient devilfish Alvi, the faction spawn. Sadly, we did not have the escalation, since apparently this site can escalate into a Mare Sargassum after you finish the first room. Not the first room, I mean the first wave. So sadly we finished the first wave, but we did not get any loot or like escalation. So now I do actually have to pay a bit of attention, since these destroyers are pretty painful. So let's see. Let's bookmark you for this just in case, because it's looking like we might need it. I think we've got this. Yeah, we got this. Okay. Let's just turn this boat around towards the devilfish Alfie. And another thing about rogue drones and drones in general, except for a few minor exceptions, none of them drop any loot. Like the faction spawns will drop loot, and some of the battleships will drop a specific loot item, but the rest drops nothing. So they actually drop, I mean, only the salvage, which can still be pretty profitable, but you don't want to do this for loot in most cases, unless you get this faction spawn, of course. Okay, so let's finish this up. Getting close. Okay, so this time only drone capillary fluids 43 times and 51 drone synaptic relay wirings, which has an estimated 500,000 ISK. So, but still pretty decent, I would say. Let's just go salvage it. Maybe we get lucky for this one. I still had the loot from the previous combat site in the cargo. Here we go. Now that is good Tech 2 salvage. Roughly 5 mil there and 18,600 there. So that's good. So this is pretty much how you do exploration. There are a couple of ships that are pretty good for doing it all over. Like right now I'm just reshipping every single time. But if you get your hands on, for example, an Astero, let me just grab it here, which is Sister of the Eve frigate, it will be able to scan down sites. It has bonuses for core probes and strength, etc. Or, for example, the cruiser variant, which is the Stratios. And these are pretty much, they have good damage and they get bonuses to scanning. So those are pretty good to use together. And then you don't have to reship. So that's actually going to be it for this episode. Next episode is going to be our weekly look back and progress update. And after that, we're going to be looking into doing one of the first epic arc sets of missions. So if you guys enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. I'd like to wish you all a nice day and fly safe.